you need to dump your male-centered friends for real, because it is so tiring being friends with women who are male-centered. It's so... your relationship with them is genuinely very unstable. You never really know when they are your friend and when they are not your friend. What I mean by that is they will prioritize talking to their boyfriend. Usually it's not even a boyfriend, I'm not gonna lie. It's just some dude. It's just some person, like some situationship, someone that they're trying to get to know. They will literally prioritize talking to this person more than you. I had this one friend. She was so notoriously bad at texting back, horrible at texting back. But she told me, oh my gosh, yeah, there's this guy, we were literally on the phone last night for hours and hours and hours. And I was like, I'm sorry? What do you mean hours and hours and hours? I can text you one little question and it will take you like a month. Anyway, that really, like, things like that, they really prioritize talking to him because they see him as like the end all be all, and you become a placeholder and you're just kind of in this waiting room. You get thrown into this waiting room where you wait for that inevitable breakup. You're just sitting idly waiting for them to break up, because when does it ever actually work out? Yeah. And then the next step in this type of relationship is they come to you and they're like, oh, he was so horrible. He did this, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. And it's like, oh my gosh, really? He did that? They'll tell you all these things about this person and then they will get with someone who does the exact same things again. So they're in this constant cycle. You are experiencing this cycle with them where they are getting with people who are exhibiting the exact same patterns of behavior, and they are still with these people. They just don't want to be alone. They break up with the person and they're back to you telling you how horrible he was and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, yeah, like I'm not surprised. It's just the same thing over and over again, and it just becomes this like annoying dynamic where you're hearing about all these things and it's like, oh my gosh, that happened again? No way. That reminds me of this other guy in the list of 10 guys that did the exact same thing to you. Oh my gosh. And then you give them advice. You tell them, this is what you should do. You should focus more on yourself, da 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 da. And they say, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And then they do it again. And they do it again. And they do it again. And they do it again. It's just kind of like, okay, and if they aren't necessarily dating somebody, like there's no one that they're really like talking to, investing their time in, if you're hanging out with them, all they do is they want to talk about dating, they want to talk about marriage, they want to talk about men, they want to talk about someone that they are just flirting with, or where they were out going to places, clubs, bars, people at work flirting. And it's just like, oh my god, I'm so bored. For me, in my experience, I've even had friends who have stopped talking to me about their relationships. And it's so funny, but the reason why they stopped sharing it with me wasn't because I'd said anything. It's because they realized we have very different standards, and things, the men that they were into, I would hear the things, the way they were like, the things that they did, and I was just like, oh, okay, like that's, like one would be like an absolute druggie, another one would be just really weird guys that is not trustworthy. I think one time I said I would never date a guy who watched porn, and every time I've mentioned that to like friends and stuff, I've always been told that's so unrealistic. Those same friends, I realize they've kind of lessened talking to me about things. Like I'll see the things that they're liking on social media or repost, and it's all about guys that they're talking to, but I'm not aware of these guys. And I think it's because our standards are so different. I think they might worry that I would be judging them, which, I mean, how can I not judge when it's literally the same pattern of behavior over and over and over again? It's so frustrating, feeling like a placeholder, feeling like your friendship is constantly on the rocks because you're just waiting for the next guy to come in and mess up the dynamic, and they just leave for ages and they don't talk to you or text you for ages, and then they text you more again when he's out of the picture. It's a very unstable dynamic and it's annoying, and I think a lot of women do this to their female friends. They want friendship, but their main goal is a boyfriend, and that's why you tend to see women who their only friend is their boyfriend. I think it's possibly due to the fact that maybe they just stopped talking to their female friends. They prioritize talking to this guy, and now they're pretty much just isolated with him. It sucks and it's sad, but a lot of women treat their female friends like this. They just dump them. They use them as placeholders, and once they get the guy that they want, that's it. It's over. But then, once the relationship is over, they're running back to you to tell you how horrible he was. It's just so annoying to experience it. I wish I was around women who were a bit more driven. I don't want to just talk about men all the time. I don't find the conversation that interesting. When I think about dating, I think about all the ways that I would protect myself from an evil person. I don't even think about it in a nice, fun way. It's annoying to be around women who are not on the same wavelength as me. It honestly makes you feel like you're not enough, like your friendship isn't enough, and it's incredibly disheartening and distressing having so many conversations and you just think like this would not pass. I think it's pronounced the Bechdel test or the Bechdel test. Like, this would not pass this test. Oh my gosh. And I hate that. Having women like this in your life can really stifle you to becoming what you really want to be, because all they want to do is talk about men. It's such a useless endeavor. I don't know, get a hobby. Like, what do you like to do? Like, what do you like to do? You know, I don't want to just talk about boys and your boyfriend and what you're doing on Hinge. Like, what do you like to do? I don't want to be like Jaden Smith, but like, please, can we talk about the political economics of the world right now? Because it's so annoying. It's so annoying. But anyway, I just need to be around women who are like-minded and stuff, but I don't even know if they exist. So, I mean, I'm sure they do, but they're just all on TikTok. I wish they were around me, but yeah.